Welcome to another episode of Dad Can We Talk? I'm your host, Anthony Ray. And today, I want y'all to welcome to the show a husband, a father, the author of the Shelley's Adventures book collection, an entrepreneur, an Eastside Realm alumni, a former University of New Orleans privateer basketball player, and my big cousin, Kentrell Martin. How you doing?
Doing all right. Thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I had to do this here. I say, man, I got to get cousin on there, man. I got to do that.
I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, man, we're going to jump right into it, man. The first question that I usually like to ask is, what was your relationship like with your dad?
I didn't have like growing up, my dad was there, elementary school, but then, my mom and my dad got a divorce, and then, probably from middle school to high school, we had, talks and interactions in between, but, it wasn't much after, between that period.
Yeah. And would you say that's something that affected you growing up, just not having that male? Well, did you have any other male role models there for you?
I did. Of course, in the sense of, every kid, especially male, you want your father there, in the sense of that, so, but I did have, I was fortunate enough to have a male, role model. Just growing up in sports, I met him. He was pretty much a coach, and he's just been somebody who's from when I first started playing sports at 8. That's been there. So I have been fortunate enough to have, whether it was coaches and different people like that, that I could, male figures that I could talk to in those times. So that was a blessing in a sense, because I know a lot of people, don't have that. It's either, the father or nobody, so.
Yeah.
I think I was fortunate enough with that.
Yeah. And see, and that's something that I think we got to talk about more, because I know a lot of us didn't grow up with our fathers. And one thing I like to say, when I see young guys that might not be fathers, or even older guys like that might not have children of their own, or you might have children but you take others people's children in, as your own. And that's something that I think our community has to get back to, because unfortunately, there might be dads that might not be there for their children, but that doesn't mean that that child has to grow up necessarily fatherless, like, especially,
right.
you might grow up, like you say, without your biological dad. But I think in our community, we got to get back to, if I live in the neighborhood, say my next door neighbor's child doesn't have a father figure in the home, and we just so happen to know each other, and I'm there, I should be able to take that child in, and I think that's something we got to get back to.
Oh, I definitely agree with that, and I think it starts with us, around my age, and now they just, for me, my personal experience and what I see is the older men back when I was a kid, they're different than the men that are my age now. You know what I'm saying? It's it's not many men that, for me, with my kid, I can, would want them following them on social media and different stuff like that, because it's not that image that I want, versus the guys who were older. And it could just be me and just people that, the men I knew, is just whatever they were doing, I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So all I saw was positive out of them, It wasn't just out there just, whether it's coming to social media or whatever, acting that way. And it's I think sometimes as people, we take it for granted, the presence of social media. It's people will add kids, teenagers, younger people to their social media, but then be like, I'm grown. But at the same time, you have people who are looking at everything you do, and it's You know, I mean, I'm grown, I'm super grown, but it's certain stuff I won't post because I know just in general there's people looking at that, you know, and it's like if I call myself a leader and want to be that leader type, I can't be displaying that image, but then turn right around and tell the kid what they shouldn't be doing, you know. I think that's a big, you know, thing right now. That's, in my opinion, that like I hate seeing it. You know, it's like man, you know, you all add all these kids to your pages, but then, you know, it's like, I mean, you're grown, you can do what you want, but you can't say I'm a model, role model, but at the same time, you know, because it's in mixed signals, and kids are kids. We can't expect them to think like adults when they're, you know, teenagers and younger, you know?
Straight up. And one thing that I really love about these kids nowadays, man, they ain't got no problem with telling you about yourself. You know, if they see you out here, you know, you, like you say, on social media, you doing this, you doing that, and then you go and try and deal with some of these kids, they'll tell you straight up to your face, like, bro, who you talking to? Like, I mean, look at what you do. And we'll get mad with them, but they have every right, and they should tell us about ourselves if we claim to be one thing and we put ourselves out there to be that role model for these kids, and we call ourselves trying to deal with them, you know. And one thing I know for sure, what these kids will tell you, they ain't got no problem.
And we'll get offended, be like, you know, disrespect, this and that. But if you flip the script, we didn't have those people weren't, we couldn't do the same, like they weren't doing it in front of us. It's like, you know, but we expect them to, you know, be this, you know, respectful and all this, but it's like, it's not, it just doesn't, the way we go about it isn't the way it used to be, you know.
That's real, man. That's real. So yeah, man, that's for anybody out there listening, you know, if you know a child, you know, a young man that you see that's growing up without any guidance, man, take that young man up under your wing and show him the way, because he might only be doing what he knows, you know, or he might only be doing what he sees. So if you see a young man going down the wrong way, I guarantee if you go to that young man humbly and really talk with him and get to know him, man, I know this from experience, literally, you know, a lot of young men, they told me from their own mouths, you know, that they want that, but they just ain't trying to follow anybody. You know, they're just coming to their life because they feel like, man, you're going to let me down like my daddy did, you know, or let me down like my uncle, whoever the case may be. But, yeah, man, I think that's something very important that we got to get back to.
And to add to that real quick before you leave, and I think as adults, as men, you got to want to do it. You know, it's like, you know, I see a lot of people doing it, sports-related things like that. It's alternative, you know, that they have motives behind it, like versus, you know, this one kid is really good, you know, they're going to be good, this and that, versus another kid may not even play sports and, you know, maybe going on a bad path, but you're not going to put forth that effort because there's nothing in it for you, you know. So I think, too, like, comparing the, you know, generations, I think when people did it before, they did it out their heart, you know, that they wanted to help people. Now, just for me personally, what I see a lot of times it's usually like what's in it for me, you know what I'm saying? It's like it relates back to you individually versus, you know, you just going out your way to do it. I'm not saying I don't see anybody doing it, because I do see people out there that actually, you know, you can see they really care for the kids. It's just that I see a lot, in my opinion, a lot of people who try to make it seem like they're putting forth the effort, but the effort that they're doing, it seems to be motives behind it.
That's real. That's real. I wanted to ask you this, man. You know, so now that you're a father yourself, how has fatherhood changed you, you know, now that you've had kids and you've had the experiences that you had throughout your life? How has you now having like when you had your first child, you know, and you knew like, dang, I'm finna have my first child, like what ran through your mind?
I mean, it was, you know, it was, I guess, I'm not gonna say scary, but it was like, you know, it really don't hit you until you see the kids. Like, man, like, you know, this kid is part of me, you know what I'm saying? But just, I mean, it just changes perspective on life. You no longer are living for yourself. You know, it's like you make foolish decisions when it's just you, you know, and only you have to deal with that. But once you have that family, like everything you do now affects them, you know. So it's like, you know, being foolish or doing anything, it's gonna have an effect on your family. And, you know, for me, it was that, I had those mentors, so I looked up to them. Like, they were my heroes. Like, you know, sports people are cool, but you don't know them personally. But when you see people that are, you know, genuinely, that you just see they care and they seem to be, you know, doing good in life and just have that kindness in them, it's like, I want my kids to look at me like that. You know what I'm saying? I want them to know me as the dad, as, you know what I'm saying, like beyond dad, like I'm their superhero, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, you know, once I had kids, for them to look at me in that light of, you know, understand that I'm human, but at the end of the day, you don't have to look for somebody else for something that I can provide. You know, as long as I can provide that guidance and just being there for you, you know, that's what I wanted, you know.
That's real. And how old? What, you got 2 sons, right?
Yes.
2 sons. And how old?
Got one just turned 13, and then I got a 9-year-old.
Okay, so you hit the teenage years. So if you could give me any advice, I mean, I got, my oldest is 7. So, but I mean, I got 2 girls and a boy. You know, my son ain't nothing but 4. But like, going into those years, like, what changes did you see? I mean, like, as far as what they call the tween years, like, what can I expect as, you know, a father? Because I man, that time is coming fast.
Man, it does come fast. I really can't tell you really what to expect, because I think, like, and it's, you know, and I'm pretty sure you see with your kids in general, it's just like the kids have their own personality. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the one that's 9 now, like what he wants from me versus the one who's 13 now, when he was 9, what he wanted from me was completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like, one wanted me, you know, to be at the court and always playing. The other one wants me to get on the computer and show him coding. He don't want to go out. Like, he really don't care about getting on the court. So it's like, you know, it's just really listening to him and, you know, just trying, for me, it's balancing that time between the two and just trying to, you know, be there and, you know, whatever they're asking for, trying, you know, to be there to participate with them.
Yeah. Now, you said something interesting right there. Do you think, like, what are your thoughts on parents trying to force their kids into sports? And not even forcing sometimes, but like almost, I guess you could say forcing time, but
right. I mean, I'm super against it, you know, because the one thing about sports, and anybody, you know, that has played sports knows, like, on the youth level, it's cute, you know, and you can score your points and touchdowns. But as a kid is getting older, either they're gonna like it or they're not. And the last thing you want to do is force anybody, especially a kid, into doing something that they really don't want to do. And the one thing about sports is, when your heart isn't in it and you're doing it because you're being forced to, you're not gonna get much out of it, because you already don't care about it, and now you're being forced to do it. You know, so you just really wasting time. You know what I'm saying? You wasting the coach's time. You wasting your time. I mean, the parents, I understand the parents want to be into it, but it's like, at the end of the day, for us to be successful in life, no matter what it is, it's going to be in things that we like doing, or we're going to put that effort and that energy into it. And when we're forced to do anything that we don't want to do, we're not going to put our heart and energy into it at the end of the day. You know, and so like my 9-year-old, he's probably 5'3". Like, he's tall, like he's big, like, you know, like, no doubt. You know, most people like, you don't play basketball, but he's a techie, you know what I'm saying? But when he asked me when he want to play, then I go out. Like, my youngest, I wanted him to play basketball, but originally my oldest, he really wasn't into basketball at first. It was all football. But you want to go to court? Nah, I want to play catch football. But you know, so I didn't really, until I think he was probably like 7, when he really started asking me to go to court. That's when, you know, I did it. But I'm against forcing kids into doing anything that they're not asking to do or that they don't want to do.
That's real. That's real, man. I want you to talk about this, man. So you started the Shelley's Adventures. What made you go into that? What gave you the idea? What gave you that spark and made you want to do that?
As some people may know, well, most people probably know, I got a deaf brother, so it wasn't planned or anything like that. But just when I was graduating college, my senior year, my brother who's deaf, he had his first child. So when I used to come home, whether it's summers or whatever breaks, I used to spend a lot of time with her. And just one day, really watching a cartoon and saw a cartoon that incorporated sign language. Cats use one sign. And,
Yeah.
from there, my mind went, well, I'm like, it'd be cool if there was a cartoon that incorporated sign language, So I started researching animation, and then I started writing animation script, and then me and my wife, she suggested, maybe you should try to write books first to build an audience, and then come back to the cartoon, and then just from there it just was a product. Like it just turned into something that I never planned. I get that a lot. Like, what made you get into writing books? I never planned to write books. Like that was never a plan.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Cause how many countries are you in now?
3.
Three.
Yeah.
Man, that boy done went worldwide, man. Yeah. Yeah. And so, man, like every time I see you posting something like that, whether you in New York or wherever, Cali, I'm like, man, Cuzzo really going all in, because I can remember you started that was maybe 2013-ish?
Yeah, I published the first book in 13. I
Yeah, I
published the
remember
first
that.
book in 13, and then I left my job in 15 to do it full time.
Okay. Well, tell me about that experience about just going all in, leaving the job and stuff.
I published the books in 13, and then originally, like, I wasn't doing school visits. I just was doing big book festivals. So I was going to big book festivals all across the country, and then the Lowry Park Zoo in Tampa, they allowed me to come in on weekends to pretty much set up a booth and sell my books and stuff. And so I was doing that like on the weekend. So I pretty much was working 7 days a week, and it just got to the point where it was like the boys are getting older, and it's like, I got to make a decision. I can't, spend all this time, doing, either I'm going to be all in or, I'm going to just have to cut something back. And, I talked to the wife, like, this what I'm planning to do it. And then, I did it in the summer 2015, June 26th. I was like, I want to do it in the summer so I can spend, some time with them in the summer before school started back, before I hit the ground running. And, I mean, my only regret is not doing it earlier, So it turned out good. So
that's real, man. This man right here is a true inspiration, dog. I like that. Yeah. Hey, so like, how important do you think it is for Black children to see Black characters in books? Because maybe some years ago, I remember my pastor started going around to some barbershops, and he started wanting to put some books with Black characters inside of the barbershop, so that when kids go to these barbershops, there could be books. And I think he talked with you about that. I think he contacted you around that time when he was trying to do that. And like, can you talk about that? Like, how important it is for Black children to see those Black characters in books?
Oh man, it's huge. I tell people all the time, imagery is everything, So when you see yourself in something, it can inspire you, because growing up, everything we see, we rarely see Blacks, in that positive sense, besides sports and entertainment. So imagery is everything, and the Shelley started out with the sign language, and that's the ultimate goal with bridging the gap and introducing it. But as I started to go around the country and everything, man, like the reception, and not only for blacks, just all races, because I can't tell you how many schools I've been to where the little black kid, when I done walked in and they're like, they introduced me and they're like, "You the author?" I'm like,
Yeah.
and you got the little kid with like, "You look just like me," and
Yeah.
but we don't see that, so
That's real.
we're not seeing representation come to schools and things like that. So many times when we grow up, and we see it in adults right now, like, you may not be amazed, but I'm talking to somebody else. People be amazed, like, you talking to certain stuff, and it's like they're looking at you crazy, because it's almost like adults think certain things not possible because of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, he talking crazy. It's like anything, I may mention, like, I dream big, and everything I do it on a bigger level. So it's like, when you talking about certain stuff, sometimes, like, and that's why I say from kids to adults, sometimes we mentally get this stronghold on our mind to think that we can't accomplish certain stuff. So while it may be, if something besides sports and entertainment, we may think, oh, okay, that's lucky, or, things like that. But, that's just ingrained stuff. And, it's, as kids, and even white kids or any other race, when I go into places and they see that, there's been times where I visited schools where I went without shaving my beard or doing nothing, because when I walked in, I wanted them, and after I present, I want them to see me as, as a black man. And, if they see somebody else who look like me, to understand that you shouldn't judge them, because you never know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a very judgmental world right now. Somebody walk by wearing certain stuff or looking a certain way, we automatically judge it, but we don't know nothing about them.
That's real.
And so for me, it's always been reaching the kids, because they're the next generation. So if I can go into these schools and be this representation to these kids, I know I can't touch everybody, but as those kids grow up, they can remember that. So when they're off and whatever they're doing in life, and they run across somebody black and certain stuff, maybe they'll look back and think about when they were younger, and, before they judge somebody based off the color of their skin or the way they're looking, and they may, get them that respect of, okay, this person may, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody deserves respect. There's no job title that deserves more respect than another.
That's real. That's real, man. And like you say, even me, when I was growing up, I can think about like how many times I seen, like I ain't really, like you said, all I really knew was, sports, rapping. It was like, that was it for me. And as I got older and I started meeting other people, and I was like, dang, like it's black people doing all type of stuff, but it's sad, that we don't have that representation, like when it comes to books, when it comes to cartoons, the big thing now people talking about, you don't really see too many of the superheroes like that. And, it's like, it's not something that you see too much, even when it comes to teachers, and this is something that I talk about, because every time I see that question on social media, like how many black teachers did you have throughout your career? And I'm like, shoot, well, especially like when they say black male teachers, I think I had one that was one in 11th grade maybe, and I had one in 11th grade, and I had two in 11th grade, my math and my history teacher. But outside of that, bro, I ain't never had one. I mean, besides a substitute teacher.
Right.
Like, for real. And I just think it's important, even in that sense, like, that's why I always commend guys. Brian Turner. Brian Turner.
Yeah.
I'm always talking, whenever I talk with BT, it's just like, I love talking with bro. And I remember I was talking with him, and he was like, and he was telling me how it's like a big thing where people look at him and he tell people that he's a science teacher, and they're like, science teacher? I thought you like, so you don't do like PE?
Right.
And he's like, it was a big thing for him to not be a PE teacher, because he was like, that's how they're stereotyped in that career. It's like, you either a PE teacher, and really that's about it. Like, you don't see the science teachers and history teachers. So he was like, when they see a black science teacher, it's like, oh shoot, like this man, like, and he know what he talking about,
Right.
and he got swag. I'm like, okay, I like that. Okay, so I that's why I think it's so important, even what you're doing. Black authors. Black authors that put these characters in these books for these children, and then on your thing is you got the black character on top of the sign language. So that's out there, bro. Like, I love it, bro.
Man, listen, when I first started writing, I went to an event, and this was before I did I wrote a book in 2007, but it was like I was just getting started. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I went to an event, and this editor, from big children's book company, and she pretty much said that children's books with black characters on the front don't sell. And and me, like, I've always been I want to do what people say can't be done or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for me, I'm like, oh well, all my characters, like it's going to be strictly, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, my books aren't strictly for only black kids, it's for everybody. But it's that representation. At the end of the day, when you see a character, a white character on the front, you don't think it's only for white kids. It's
Straight
a book.
up.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's I think I'm not 100% on the stats, but I know the last time I checked, I think it's like 3.5% of all children's books got black, only that got black characters, you know what I'm saying, on the front, and it's sad, it's like just mentally, and it's like on all races, those type things, as I say, it translates to adulthood because you automatically go to assuming, well, you're smart to be black or different stuff. Why you say that? Because you haven't met too many, you haven't seen the face of people that are smart that are black, because it's not you know what I'm saying, talked about and things like that. So
that's real.
So visual representation is huge, man. Like psychologically, it has its toll on the human race.
That's real. That's real, man. So you did you ever decide on if you were gonna do the doll for Shelley's or not?
All right, so well, I'll probably be announcing next week, but I mean, I have another company that I partnered up with someone that I'm launching. We're launching another company, so we're just trying to legitimize a few things and get some things right. But that representation, everything we were talking about, is something in the works for global. Like it's big what we trying to write. So hopefully, with a few things, we're waiting on a couple things to come through before we speak on it. But I got a big project coming. New company coming with that. So
okay. Hey, trust me, I got my eyes locked on it, boy. I'm waiting, because whatever it's gonna be, my baby's needed. Because like you say, even when it comes to the dolls, now this ain't really something that really hit me probably until my oldest daughter was around 3, and I started realizing, like, man, I ain't bought my baby, like, I want her to have more black dolls. Like, I want her to just be able to see that, because she was so in love with the whole Frozen thing. And so I'm like, okay, I mean, that's fine, that's cool, and I think it hit me one day when she was like, Daddy, Elsa hair is so pretty. I was like, I mean, yeah. I was like, but your hair pretty too. I said, your hair way prettier than Elsa. And I'm like, man, bump Elsa. Like, baby, I think you look better than Elsa. I think your hair is much better than Elsa's. Like, you don't have to, because I think she told me she wanted to get her hair like she wished she had hair like Elsa. I'm like, why you wish that? Like, do you not think that your hair is beautiful? Like, and just right then it hit me. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go ahead and nip this thing in the bud. Like, we ain't gonna do this. I can't let this happen. Not with mine. So, I started giving her these different dolls, and I took them in Walmart maybe about a month ago. And, I told them, pick out a doll. So my daughter, she's looking at my oldest. She's looking at all the dolls, and she ran across one that had the little skin thing, vertigo, or however you say it. And she was like, ooh, Daddy, I really like this one. But she was like, what's wrong with her skin? I was like, ain't nothing wrong with her skin. She just got different skin than you. It just looked different. And I like, but she just a regular old person. And she was like, so she's sick? I'm like, no, she ain't sick. Like, she just got different looking skin.
Right.
I'm like, she's beautiful, right? She was like, yeah, she's really pretty. I'm gonna get this one. I was like, yeah, do that. Like, do that. And so, you know, I went on Google and started showing her people with it. And I'm like, it's a normal thing, you know, and really just trying to let her see that just because you might not see this type of stuff on Disney, that don't mean that it ain't beautiful. You know, and started showing her all these pictures. Because she would say, well, Daddy, I wish, you know, that I could be like Elsa because she has blue eyes. I say, Black people got blue eyes too. You know,
right.
And it's just all of these things that she see on TV. And I say, man, you know, we gotta really be careful with stuff like that. And like when I seen you post that stuff about that dog, I'm like, oh, I hope Cuz will do that. I can't wait. I got to get one.
Hey, trust me, Cuz we got something big coming, man. It's I got something for you. Got something for you. So. But yeah, man, it is big, man. It's, you know, I can't tell you how many times my wife can tell you, you know, like when I done visited schools, and it kind of goes back to when you was talking about like just the male figures with different things. You know, I done been to schools where maybe a kid, you know, a little Black kid that's acting out little different things like that, and you know, I notice them and, you know, ask the teacher, you know, once I'm done, let me talk to them different things, and they hold the mini chains, and you know, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna give you some books, you know, whatever, but I need you to straighten up with different things like this. And just, you know, and I got emails from teachers who were just like, you know, whatever you said to this kid, you know, thank you so much, like his attitude is changing. And it's like,
yeah,
kids, man, sometimes they just need that one little thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we put so much expectations on kids without them being told the right way, and we get mad sometimes when they haven't been taught the right way, and we're mad that they're not doing it the right way. It's like, you can't fault them, you know what I'm saying? It's just, we fall into the bad category when we go so long through life, and you hit that 18, now you're an adult, they don't care what you haven't been taught. You know what I'm saying? They're going to punish you for whatever you've been taught, whatever. Now you're an adult. So it's like many times, and that, like you said, like that need for just those positive figures, those role models, just people like that. Because sometimes it's just being kids, I mean, adults need people to talk to. It's like, we will say adults, it's just like, I'm so over it. I need somebody to talk to. But then when a kid, we brush it off, but we give them less leeway than we give adults. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's real.
So you know, that's definitely, you know, I think if we want to turn around the way things are going and things like that, that's a huge need, you know.
That's real. That's real. I wanted to ask you, how do you balance, like, you know, your business that you run in? How do you balance business? You got to get that time to your wife. You got to and then you got to give your time to your children, you know, like, and not just them together, but them individually. So you balancing, you know, time for yourself, your business, your wife, and 2 sons. And then all the other stuff that you have going on, you know, just family members and just your own regular old life. How do you balance all that, bro?
Man, it's definitely tough. I actually started the blog, and me and my wife, we gonna continue it, probably, you know, get back to it in the next month or two. But it was from the mommy side and the daddy side, you know what I'm saying, like a blog with just, you know, and it's tough, but you know, you just have to. For me, it's prioritizing, you know what I'm saying, like finding that balance between work and then with them. But like many times, like most times, people be like, well, you always on the go. You know, are you ever home and stuff? But people don't realize there's times where I may go down to Miami. I wake up at 2 a.m, drive down to Miami and come right back to get to their practice just because, you know what I'm saying? But people don't know that, you know what I'm saying? I done drove straight back from Virginia to get to a game the next day to spend time. But it's like certain sacrifices, you know, sometimes, you know, if I know I got a lot of work to do, then, you know, I either get up super early or I'm gonna have to stay up late. But, you know, I try not to take time away from the family because, you know, we only get them 24 hours, you know, so it's something got to give. At the end of the day, you can't give equal time to every single thing. So it's prioritizing just different things, you know. It may be days where, you know, but the kids understand. I think, like me and my wife, one of the benefits we have, we, you know, like with what she do and with me, like now both of them are homeschooled, working from home. But the oldest, like, I'll take him with me sometimes, like when I go out of state or out of town. But he can understand my work, so so it's not like I'm just telling him I'm busy and then just saying that. Like, he's actually been able to see what I do. So, it's tough. It's definitely tough. So some days if I got big deadlines, I let him know, I got it coming up, and it's just being transparent. It's like, I got to do this for the next couple hours, but tomorrow, I'll get more time in and do this. But just throughout the week, for a full day, it's hard to just say what you're gonna do. But for a full week, it's just prioritizing.
That's real. That's real. And like you say, that's something that I'm still working on. Just being able to balance, my time, because that's something that's very important. But one thing you said that was very important in there was that transparency. Man, I think a lot of times when it comes to marriage, especially marriage, I think some men feel like, well, I ain't got to communicate everything to my wife. Like, she ain't got to be keeping tabs on me. I'm like, man, I don't know where you get that from.
Right.
And then they wonder why things be messed up, because if you're not, and I'm still learning this stuff, bro, like literally still learning. Like, you gotta communicate everything, even when it come down to me doing these podcasts, like earlier today, I went in and did some work at the job. And I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna go get some hours real quick. Boom. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna try to take a quick nap. I know I got the podcast at 6. I'm like, okay, boom. Right after this, I know I got to go spend some time because I've been running today. Like, and I know that, like, and I understand that. And if I don't do that, I can expect that nothing might not be said today and nothing might not be said tomorrow, but that thing might linger on until next weekend. And then, your wife be mad and you wondering like, hey, why she tripping? Like, but, and neither person ain't saying nothing, and I just think you always just got to keep everything out in the front, like, hey, I got this coming up. I got this going on, boom. After this, we can go over here. And you just got to really, like you say, prioritize things, because if not, man, family life will be in shambles.
And it's crazy, I may get requests for different things, and I'm like, that sounds good, but let me get back with you. Let me check my wife's schedule, just, before I commit certain stuff. And it's kind of like looking like commit, like time, like it's like we have like it's time. Like my time isn't more important than hers. If she has something really big, coming up, then I have to push something I got back. Our schedules have to work with each other. We have to do that. But like you said, if you're not transparent, it just leaves the door open for so much confusion and just more negative than positive things,
That's real. How long have y'all been married?
We've been married 12 years.
Ooh, that boy had 12. Yeah.
12 years, man. So
how has that been?
Man, I mean, it's good, man. She my, my life partner in the sense beyond just the spouse aspect. Like, she's my best friend in the sense of, like, most people look at it as great. Like, we have business meetings. Like, what I'm saying? She's an entrepreneur as well. So, we may say, okay, tonight, like you say, tomorrow, what's your schedule look like? All right, we need to sit down and have a business meeting. And, we get to discuss business. Like, I talk about, things I may need working on. She talk about things she got going on. Then maybe talk about the family after, but what I'm saying, like, just the communication aspect, we talk about everything, so it's that understanding at the same time, so she may have 4 calls back to back for the next 4 hours or something, and it's like, I'm gonna need you to get the kid, I'm doing this, it's not like, well, I got these meetings to do, I got this work to do too. It's like, it's that balance. So, it's good, we're on the same page, and I think, a lot of times with relationships and marriages, the opposites do attract, but that communication and that expectancy of each other have to match as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, what I'm saying? I know what I can get from her. She knows what she can get from me in terms of anything, whether when to talk to me, you know, if I'm having a mood or I'm doing bad
Yeah.
time, same thing with her, you know, it's just being a beyond just, you know, the love aspect of intimacy, you know what I'm saying, but just being that life partner in the sense of being able to talk to, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, as you know, when you come to that family, you're not out and about, and, you know, when you have some deep stuff to talk to, you know what I'm saying, like, if you can't talk to your spouse about it, it's like, that's who that's who you're committed to, and you know you envision yourself with for life. So if you can't talk to them, like I don't see how you'll be comfortable talking outside to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just
real.
me. You know what I'm saying? So like we're very tight knit. You know, just in the house, and you know even with the kids, we just have adult conversations. You know, whether it's on race, you know, business or anything. You know, it's like everything is open. You know, and you know we give tough love. You know. She my biggest critic and her biggest critic besides
Yes,
ourselves.
sir.
So, you know, like I'm not a big fan of yes men or yes women. You know what I'm saying? It's like you may hurt my feelings, but I want to know the truth if I come with a business idea. You know what I'm saying? So it's times when we both may, you know, get that harsh. You know what I'm saying? Not what we want to hear, but then it's like you know it's coming from a good place. You know what I'm saying? We both want to succeed in what we do, so it's not like we're trying to sabotage each other or something like that, you know. So that's cool,
man. And that's so real. Boy, sometimes my wife be done hurt my feelings, boy. She'll tell me about myself, bro, and I'll be like, dang, like why you, dang, bro. So it's like that, you know. But it just only be real, you know. And once I get my put my feelings aside, you know, I'm just like, nah, that's real though, you know. Like I can work on that, you know. I can. You know, or I do be like this, and I'm gonna try to be better in that area, you know. And you need a partner like that. Men out there, if y'all listening, if you ain't married, get you a woman that's gonna be real with you. You know, please don't get you a woman that's gonna tell you everything you want to hear. That's gonna tickle your ears. Do not do that, man. You don't need that in your life. You need a woman that's gonna be at the house is gonna tell you straight up, bro, you tripping. And you need to get right, you know, because
better, like
straight up. Because if you don't have, I just be looking at it this way. Sometimes I don't expect for people outside my house to be real with me. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. People gonna be fake, you know. That's just how it is.
Right.
I don't need that inside my house. I need everything inside my house to be 100% real. You know, because if not, like I always know whatever coming out of my house, that's what's real. You know, and my wife, then she ain't got no problem, and she gonna tell me straight up, like, and like you say, boy, that thing will hurt your feelings, bro. You know, boy, that thing, bro, it really hurt your feelings. I'm like, dang, you know, and I be in my feelings for a couple days sometimes, you know, but I always consider what she says, and if it's real, all I can do is look within and say, nah, I mean, she only telling you what's right. And try and do whatever I got to do to fix that thing, you know. And I got to be the same way with her and tell her straight up, you know. And like you say, there ain't no hard feelings in that, you know.
Right.
But we got to be real with each other, because outside your house, people ain't gonna always be real with you. You can't even expect that.
Not at all. And like, yeah, man, I've been telling my son since he was young, and I've always dealt with this. If there's no room for improvement, then something's wrong. Like, no matter what you're doing in life, we should be striving to get better. You know what I'm saying? So if someone's always saying, "Oh, this is great, this and that," something's wrong, because there's never a perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always something that can be worked on, and it's like you don't want to get complacent in life and say, "Oh, well, so and so said I'm good with this," and you know. I don't need to work on it. It's like we all have things we need to work on. Like that. That's just as humans. You know, we're not perfect. We all have areas that we can work on. You know, and it's like you know, people say it's looking yourself in the mirror and being real with yourself. A lot of people don't want to keep it real with themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd rather go with the fake narrative of other people boosting them up versus being real with yourself. Like, you know, I know you're telling me this, but I do need to do better at this. You know what I'm saying? I do know this. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't admit it to nobody else, I need to do better at this. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect to get better as a person if you're not willing to accept your own flaws.
That's real. That's real, man. How have y'all as a family, how have y'all navigated through the social climate right now with everything that's been going on, for the last year, all with all of the shootings and, the blatant racism, the political atmosphere. Like, how have y'all navigated all that? And how do y'all deal with that when it comes to your children?
I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of the word. I mean, in general, I mean, as a family, we're doing, we're doing well, doing things, but it's certain things that we've experienced. Like, I mean, the climate now is just more televised, but we all know most of the stuff going on. It's been going on. You know what I'm saying? And like, we've been fortunate enough for most of our kids' lives for like their privilege. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of not having to like just the growing up atmosphere, but at the same time, they've experienced certain things in the sense of it's like, why can't I do this and these other kids? And why am I being questioned for certain stuff? And we keep it 100 with them, man. It's like, what I'm saying? Like we tell them, off rip, you judge people off their character and what they present. You know what I'm saying? They're bad people in every race, but same time I got 2 boys, you're black boys. So I'm saying some stuff you may do and life ain't gonna be fair. What you saying? When they doing it, why they ain't getting in trouble? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but we're huge advocates for our kids. So, when they went to schools that, I mean, for most of their life, predominantly white, you know what I'm saying? But them teachers know us. We're there. Like, you know what I'm saying? We schedule meetings, even they ain't got none. We need to schedule a meeting just to see progress with certain stuff because, in the system, if you don't advocate for your kid, you see a lot of kids get lost because they don't have that person advocating for them. You know what I'm saying? So from off rip, we've always been there. Like, this is what it is. We're not gonna allow anything to happen that we can. Not saying we can control, but they know we're gonna be there. And we're gonna speak up on things. But at the same time, we let them. We tell them to be aware that don't expect, in a perfect world, everybody's treated equally and fairly and things like that. But we're not living in the perfect world. You are a black man, so there are things you're gonna be, whether it's dealing with the police, different, whether, I had an occasion the other day at the pool, it's like, I mean, they've seen me, police pull up, what are you doing out here? It's like, I'm at my house, where do you live? Like, you don't ask nobody else, you're not asking the white people in the neighborhood. But, you know what I'm saying? But letting them know, like, so they're very, as people like to say, woke and, aware of things. So we don't hide anything from them because the world is not going to hide anything. So, we keep everything, up front and, and we deal, in industries that, that are predominantly, white and things like that. But at the same time, we try to teach them how to navigate in the sense of, be respectful, do certain things, work hard. But these are obstacles you may face. You may never face them, but don't ever be surprised by certain things if it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of people, I never had this happen, this and that. Everything isn't going to happen to everybody, but when you're aware of something and you're mentally prepared for it, that's a lot better than just going into it and then being naive and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't understand. Like, how could this happen? Like, So, I mean, in general, we working hard. We doing what we do. We try to introduce them to everything, that come to mind,
That's real. That's real. Another thing I wanted to ask you about, like, what was your experience when you went out to the Big Easy?
Oh my God. Oh man, that's my second home, man. When I first went to school, that was really my first time leaving the state. I was homesick. First couple of weeks, I was ready to come back home. New Orleans is a different animal. I tell anybody, like, it's its own world. Like, it's completely different. Like, now I've been to probably like 35 to 40 states, hundreds of cities, like New Orleans is its own place. Like, it's definitely, but, it made me grow up fast, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of being away from home, just learning how to, be an adult. The first thing my coach told me when I went on my visit, he was like, New Orleans is a great city, but it's a city that you can easily get in trouble in. He said there's places you should be and the places you shouldn't be. As long as you're in the places you should be, you shouldn't have any trouble. So, that stuck with me from there. So, and it's crazy. When I went there, going from Gainesville, I don't know really, I never really knew anybody got killed. I went there in 3 years. I probably knew like 5 or 6 people that got killed. Like just like there. Most people grow up there. They'll tell you like living at 18, like that's a blessing. Like they party hard at 18 because they're like they don't expect to live to see 18.
It's crazy. That's crazy, man. Wow. Yeah, that's wild. I heard stories and stuff, but like I think it don't really be real until you actually go to a place and you experience it, and you like you say. I mean, you can hear about it all day on TV, but like until you like really experience it and people personally, and you like, dang, wait, it's really that happened. What, yesterday? It's like, dang, okay.
Man, it's crazy. My first year there, and that by the summer, I think they had like 330 murders by the summer. Like,
dang.
Like it was bad, man. But New Orleans it's a fun city, like you say. It's places to be and not to be. But if you haven't been, you should definitely. If you like to eat good food, man, it's a good place to visit, man.
Yeah. Have you been? So I know you probably been back since the whole Hurricane Katrina stuff and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I went back coaching right after Katrina. I lived in New Orleans 3 months. We moved back. I got hired to coach like 2-3 weeks after Katrina, and the team moved back to New Orleans the day after Christmas. So I mean, the city was still like wiped out and everything like that. But yeah, I go like 2 to 3 times a year. So I mean I try to get out there as much as possible.
Yeah. So how's the rebuilding? So are they still like in a rebuilding process, or there's some stuff that probably ain't even come back?
It's back. Like I mean, like the East, like lower ninth part, they got little parts of it, but in general, it's back. Like all the projects and stuff, they gentrified it, and stuff like that. But if you've never been and you go, you wouldn't know that, something bad like Katrina had been there and something like that. So it's pretty much back.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's good news right there. How do you think that college experience, going to play in college and having that experience with your coach and stuff, like how do you think how has that contributed to the man that you are today?
I think the traveling aspect, like as a team, we got to traveling. Meeting people. Being an athlete, you get a chance to meet a lot of people. Sometimes you meet people that influential, and so one of the things that that stick with me, and I always tell younger people is, be presentable. You never know who's around. Now like I'm amazed. Like I'm around kids with different people and they're cussing, like just acting. It's like they don't even know who around them. Like in general, like they don't care. It's like being in public because as an athlete, when you're introduced to so many people and things like that, you have an advantage in the sense of if you're a good person, you networking and things like that, that can have a great impact on your future. When it's time to get jobs and things like that. And I think many times, we get to the point where it's like, well, I don't need nobody doing this for me or doing this for me. But then when you get down bad, it's like you turn right around and say, nobody there for me. Nobody want to help me. I'm reaching out for help. You know what I'm saying? Like you forget there was a point in time where you might have been, presented yourself in certain ways. Certain people can help you. I always tell people, be a good person in life. Like just be a good person because you never know when you're a good person and you leave that impact on somebody, they remember you as a good person versus whatever negative you may do, around them. So, just going to college and, having to, I ain't gonna say grow up fast, because I did get to enjoy life being a youngin, but it was just like my coach, he was real big on introducing us to people and things like that, and just for me, I always thought ahead and future wise. So okay, this person they own this, or this person own this. Oh hey, how you doing? My name's so and so. Nice to meet you. There's been times now like some of them same people that follow me on social media, but whenever you're in New Orleans, let me know, even when I was done, went to events, like, if you ever need anything, here's my card, give me a call, whatever. But it's little things like that, and that's what propel us in life with having a you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nobody can do everything by themselves. We need some
Yeah.
type of
Straight
assistance.
up.
So it's like, why limit yourself to just a small thing when just being a good person can broaden, you know what I'm saying, your resources and things like that. So, you know, just from that, I've always been like, you know, I've been fortunate enough to, you know, whether it's my kids, if I go to New Orleans, man, it's different. I can go to different restaurants and the owner be like, oh, let me know when you coming in, you know, kids, you know, and they can walk around like they own the restaurant or something like that. But it's only because just keeping those, they're not people I call or do anything like that. But if I go to a certain city, just from people I've met and just, you know, I understand that aspect of being able to network. And I think as blacks versus, and I think it goes back to just our history and not really given a chance to do that. But now we're so far gone in the sense to be like, man, I don't need this person, this and that. I get it off the mud, you know what I'm saying? I do this, but it's like, life is a big game, you know what I'm saying? We all sometimes have to do things we don't want to do. I'm not saying do something crazy to, you know, that's against your character and that like that. But if you got to, you know, go chat it up with somebody or something like this with that, because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that are winning and doing stuff, they're just not, you know, a-holes, walk around a-holes and just, unless they inherited something that was just passed down. But in general, they got network, you know what I'm saying? They may not like Bob over there, but if it's to make both of their companies some money, they're not finna worry about if Bob gonna make $10 million off of it and they only gonna make $8 million. They're not gonna get mad and say, he finna make more money off the deal. So you finna take $8 million out your pocket because, you know what I'm saying, you don't like something about him or his attitude or something like that. It's like we got to get beyond that if we want to, you know what I'm saying, exceed and, you know, move up. So, you know, that's one of the things that I learned just, you know, just observing and being around like everybody. You know, I done seen those guys like me there sit there, hey, Bob, how you doing? You know, this and that. Get in the corner. Oh, yeah, I really hate him. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he ain't showing that. He ain't walking around me mugging him. So, and then that same person, man, I got $1 million loan from him. I asked him to borrow $1 million. He shot it. You know what I'm saying? But that little thing right there versus me mugging this dude or something like this versus you playing whatever little thing the advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we may say, oh, that's being fake and phony. I can't live like fake and phony. But you'll say that, but then you'll turn around and you would admire and, you know what I'm saying, envy somebody who's doing good because they did what you said you wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Nobody telling you
a lot of them be doing it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's saying, like, do something that's out of character, you know what I'm saying, that's against your morals. But, you know what I'm saying, small things like that.
Yeah. But that's real. You know, it be over the smallest stuff that, bro, it really ain't that serious. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but, bro, is it, like, that serious to the point to where, like, you gotta really put certain things. It's like certain things, if somebody does certain things to me, like, that's like cut off level. Like, I can't even mess with you no more, bro. You know, but it's certain things, man, they might have said something about me. Bro, I honestly don't even care about that, bro. I mean, yeah, I wish you wouldn't have done that, but, man, that is not finna affect me, and I can still be cordial with you. Bro, how you doing? You all right? You know, and all that, even though I might not ever even address that one thing, you know, personally, somebody might be done just told me, oh, but he said something about it. Man, I don't care about that. I'm not gonna let that. That's not gonna bother me like that. You know, but I can see, you know, okay, you did something personal to my children or something. Okay, that's another level now. But, like, you said something behind my back, you know, like, man, all right, that's like small. But people will let that little small thing, like, make them miss all types of opportunities in life. You know, off of something that literally ain't all that serious. You know, and I just think we just got to be smart. We got to be wise, man.
We do, man.
And that's why I always look at this scripture that says, be wise as serpents, but as harmless as a dove. You know, you got to be as wise as that serpent, because there's so many serpents out here in this society, real deal snakes that'll do all type of stuff to you. So you got to know, you got to be able to think their game. You know, you have to be able to understand that, well, this joke is a real snake, but I know his game and I know his game plan. and you got to use that in your favor, you know. So it's like, be as wise as a serpent, but as harmless as a dove. You know, I ain't gonna harm you, bro.
Right.
I know what you're doing, and I can see right through you. I can see all through your fakeness, but you ain't gonna get me to come down to your level because I understand you. You don't know my game plan now. You know, you don't know what I got going on, and I'm gonna get exactly what I need, you know, from this relationship, and that's it. And I'm out of there. After I get what I need from this relationship, you know, especially when I know how you feel about me, or, you know, the animosity you got toward me, man, I'm gonna get what I need, and I'm gonna keep it moving. You know, that don't mean I got to deal with you every day and be telling you all my business, you know, because I know we ain't like that. You know, but if I know it's something that I need from, you know, and people, like you say, people might say stuff is fake, but we got to do that stuff on jobs all the time.
Exactly.
Like, all the time. Like, I know at that warehouse, at Walmart warehouse, I know the folks don't care nothing about me like that. Like, they'll let me go today and have my replacement tomorrow. Like, straight up, they might even get my replacement that same day. So I know that Walmart, right now, if they're my employer, I need something from them. And I know that it's so much wickedness that go on behind the scenes and all types of it. Man, I'm gonna go in there and get what I need, and I'm gonna keep it moving. You know, and in the process, I'm trying to create an exit plan where I ain't got to be up under these folks for the rest of my life. You know, so it's like, so understanding that, because people say, oh, Walmart got this going on. I understand it's a dirty game out there, bro. And all aspects of business. I seen the people talking about the NBA the other day. Somebody say, you know, in real life, when you go to work and you decide to not do your job, you get fired. And my reply to that was, not when they need you.
What?
Because at the end of the day, they need LeBron James. The NBA need him.
At the end of the day, boy, but people don't realize when it's business, if you're taking money out their pocket, like, and it's gonna be a heavy hit to their pocket, they acknowledge how much they need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. Like, man, all right.
Yeah. I
said the same thing. No lie, somebody said that. I said, it's not a regular job. At the end of the day, you talking about somebody who affects the economy, like, you know what I'm saying? Market,
straight up.
You know what
he affect the whole city.
Yeah,
the whole city.
You like a regular person, the regular person they get somebody else in there, but that's not you're not speaking on a regular situation.
All right, straight up, because you got to think, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic, take all them boys out the NBA and you keep a Trey Burke, Mo Bamba. Man, the NBA is not about to eat, bro.
Nope.
If you take all them big names out of there, they eat off the big names. Because you look at the commercials and you see all the promotion, they ain't got Mo Bamba, you know, they ain't advertising Trey Burke for Dallas. They advertising Luka and KP.
Yeah.
When you see the Lakers, they're not advertising KCP, bro. They're advertising LeBron James and Anthony Davis because they are the money makers. So if Anthony Davis and LeBron James walk out that building, the Lakers they gonna hurt, you know. But if I walk out of Walmart warehouse, like, bro, Walmart warehouse gonna still be Walmart warehouse. They gonna still eat, you know. And it's just, that's just real, you know.
Right.
So when people were saying all that, I say, man, y'all talking. That ain't no regular stuff right now. Well, that's LeBron James you talking about.
And I think a lot of people, they don't understand business. Like, they just view something in broad, but they don't understand the big picture business. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, when money is coming out of your pocket, at the end of the day, you worked $1 billion. If $200 million for to come out of your pocket, you're gonna feel that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna feel no different than somebody who got $1,000 and they lose $200. You're just gonna say, oh, well, I don't care. I'm willing to lose $200 and then in the future keep losing hundreds of dollars. No, like, no. The reason them people like that, because they greed. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, big business owners, most of it is greed. So at the end of the day, they're looking for pluses, not minuses. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. people don't understand just the concepts. And back on even what you were saying about, just having to deal with. So I've been in school visits to where, I might have felt something was, disrespectful or something that a teacher or something may have happened, but I can't get up there and have an attitude or whatever. I got to present myself. In my head, I may be feeling certain thoughts and say, okay, I may never come to school again. But at the end of the day, I've been in situations where, something might have been negative about the situation, but at the end of the day, I'm going to bring my A game, and my A game has led to more business for me because somebody else in there referred somebody else, told other teachers about it. But if I let my ego get part of it, like, you know what, I'm leaving out, I'm not going to deal with this, I'm leaving this stuff like that, that has an effect on me long run, you know what I'm saying? Like, that person, they just going to keep teaching their day. I have a business, so I'll present my business. I can't let my ego, run my business to the ground with anything. And I think many times people can't fight that urge for fighting that ego.
That's real. That's real, bro. That's real. So all the listeners out there, take that. That's free game right there. That's free game. But I want to ask you this. Now, this is one of my little fun questions. We'll go to something a little more light. What TV dad are you most like, and which is your favorite?
Ooh. Man, see, now I got to go back to the old school. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Cosby. I probably would say Cosby in a sense. You know what I'm saying? He had a career. You know what I'm saying? Had the family life, funny. You know what I'm saying? Funny with the kids. Had a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't all serious. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. In general, we always get this perception of the higher you're doing in life, like the more serious you got to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be human and have fun like somebody who may not. You know what I'm saying? Had that type of career. And, it was, just growing up watching the Cosbys, it was like, it, in reality, like for me as a kid, like it was TV. It was like, I didn't know any male, doctor, anybody, that got, a nice house like that, got a family, the husband, the wife, the family there, you know what I'm saying? You can have them, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, it was TV, but I didn't grasp like that was reality, that there's families out there like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that there are people who, they aren't struggling, like, you know what I'm saying? They're eating big meals, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like my kids and stuff, like me and my wife always, we laugh and like, if we had a reality show, like, for one, we couldn't have one because we couldn't be ourselves, because reception that people have of us, it's just what you see on social media and stuff like that. But we have fun. We, you know what I'm saying? We do other stuff like as a family and like this. But in general, people see the social media family, but they don't know, like very few people know us like as a family as a whole, but we have fun and just, I mean, our kids, don't want for anything. And we have fun, it's like we're professionals, but, in the house we can let our hats off and our hair down and just joke and, like in general, some people may be like, isn't that the author? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they was able to get a sneak peek inside of the house.
So which one would you say was your favorite?
My favorite dad? I don't know, man. I think I think it was a great blend, from the, with Fresh Prince, with Phil, with Family Matters, with Urkel.
Family Matters.
Family Matters with Carl Winslow. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a great blend. I don't think I had one that I just was just like, that's my guy. But it's like, I loved it back then, though. It was just like those families like that. Like, we've gotten so far away from that now. Now it's like, you know what I'm saying? When we think of Black entertainment, it got to be drama. It got to be, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be a drug dealer in the family, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to automatically get killed. And it just sends off that perception. What I say about visual representation is almost like, there are families out there where you have a husband and wife and kids and they're doing fine, families are, mom, dad are working and there is no drama in their household, you know what I'm saying? Of course, every family has some type of drama linked outside. But there are many Black families that are, you know what I'm saying, that's not the families you see on the movies that's always going to be portrayed in the movies. It's like we've gotten so far away from the successful families. And when I say successful, it's not meaning the mom and dad got to make a lot of money, but successful in the sense of you got 2-parent households and that they're making it work. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Like that they're providing for their kids and they're making it work. To me, that's successful. Like it has nothing to do with the amount of money. Like we've got to the point now, it's like people want to think of the income, like, or how much he make or how much she make. You know, like if I see it, not regardless if they rich or poor, if they're a family and they're making it work and they're happy in their household, they're having a successful life as a family. You know what I'm saying? Like that's me personally, but we categorize stuff of the money that's in there, or you know what I'm saying, the different things like that. So I just view things different than a lot of people tend to do nowadays.
That's real, man. That's so real. And I would add to that, just looking at back then, the family, it was always like there were, all the families always kind of seemed different, even when you go to like different strokes.
Right.
So you see that type of family. It was like at the end of the day, it all just came back to just this family, that there was this core. And that's something that made me want to start this podcast, bro, because I see families, like you said, that ain't got all that drama. Of course, you always got some stuff just happen. That's life. But it's like, I know a lot of men and women, husband and wives that, live happily together and they love their children and the children love them and the children love the children. It's like, and y'all have just a regular old normal life. You ain't rich, you ain't poor, you just, you just living life. You work, you got your career, you do whatever you do, and you try your best every day to, to be better and, to love on your children, to love your wife, or the woman love the husband. Like, I see that so much, bro, but it's not something that you really see portrayed in the media too much. And I say, man, you know what? I want to start. I want to start this podcast, and I want to bring these dads on that I know that have these lives that I feel like people don't. Like you say, people might look at Kentrell like, man, Kentrell, that's just the author. But it's like, nah, this man got so many more parts to him, and I want to give dads that opportunity to come on this podcast, give dads a platform to, show, things that, be able to get your story out there, things that you've seen, places where you've been, the experiences that made you who the public see you as, because the public gonna see you as Kentrell Martin, Shelley's Adventures, and that's it. But it's like, what got Kentrell to this point? There were things that happened in his life that led him here, and he has, this wife and these children that he loves. And I want to give especially Black men that platform to talk about their love for their wives, their loves for their, their spouse, their love for their children, because I just don't see it too much without it being, the whole drama thing. And I'm like,
right.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
And I appreciate you for one for starting, the podcast and what you're doing. I think it's a brilliant idea and it's deeply needed. Thank you for having me on.
Sure.
And I don't know if you currently reach out to like the middle school and high schoolers, like with the schools, but I think this would be wonderful for teen Blacks to definitely see just the big picture, because like as you mentioned, it's not much of it being seen. So to put a face, or people like, not people on TV who, LeBron James or something like that, who we already feel like, it's a one in a million, you can't be that. But to know that there's dads, whether it's in your city, your state, that's around that are living normally, like to understand that being a single dad or whatever the case may be, like in a sense of families, there's normalcy in having a family. You know what I'm saying? Like many times, like we gotten away from that being normal. So when people do things, whether it's, we all make mistakes and different things, but mentally, there's a lot of people who think a lot of things is supposed to be normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to just, you know, do all these things. That's normal as a black male, or, you know, no, that's not normal. Like, that's what you've been taught. And maybe your surrounding, that's normal for that surrounding. But in life, there are other people who are doing the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's huge. And, you know, I love what you're doing with your platform. So I definitely, you know, help promote it in any way I can, because it's really needed. And I think, you know, a lot of kids definitely need to see it, like seeing this multiple people that, you know, it's not no, okay, 1 in a million type people and not like this, but that there's, you know what I'm saying, just a bunch of normal people who are doing those things.
That's real, man. Man, my last question. If you could talk to an 18-year-old Kentrell Martin, what would you tell him? What advice, one piece of advice that you would give him?
18. Well, I was 18. I was going to college. I guess probably the same advice I give to 18-year-olds now is, I mean, it's hard to tell someone to think about what you want to do in life, because we all go through those phases where we really don't know. But at the same time, I think we never really take it serious to think about what we really want to do in life. Like most people, if it's not sports or entertainment, like especially black males, being a rapper or being an athlete, like you may say, oh, I'm ball, like, you know what I'm saying, ball is life, like, you know what I'm saying, this is what I want to be. But if it's not that, like, you rarely hear anybody saying this is life with anything else, you know what I'm saying? Like, either entertainment and sports, or it's like, well, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's like just thinking about careers and things that you like to do, because what I found that, you know, when you find that thing that you like to do, it make work, you know, easier. So if you like being on a computer, you like technology, start looking at ways to get into that, you know what I'm saying? Because the earlier you can start getting into that, you know what I'm saying, you're not, like, for me, I didn't know, you know, I wanted to play ball, that was it, you know, I like computers, but no one, I mean, my mentor did tell me to start, you know, this was 98, he was like, you know, start looking into computer programming and things, because computers are the future, you know, so I did, you know, start looking into it, but my passion for it I didn't take it as serious as I did, you know, wanting to play sports, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think, especially as black males, you know, and I want to give kudos to the black women, because they don't have sports as an option. So many times they know what they want to do, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's real.
I'm going to go to school for this, and they, you know what I'm saying? They're on their guns with that. So definitely kudos to the black women for that, because, you know, if you look around, you know, when you talk about education and college and things like that, black women are far exceeding us black males, you know?
That's real.
And it's like, you know, even as the black males, it's like you have some, they're only going to college for sports. If you took sports away, it's like, I don't want to be able to do that. And then when those 4 years are over, you're back home, you're back to square one, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I would tell an 18-year-old me to think of things that I like doing outside of sports, that, you know, and then start looking at possible, and college isn't for everybody, but they got trades, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of trades where you don't, you know, and I will push a trade over a degree if the trade can get you there faster, you know? So it's really not necessarily have to go to college, but start thinking about what you want to do in life and the things that you like, because if you can start doing the things that you like, it makes life a little more easier than doing something for the money. Because just from my experience, you know, my wife's experience, talking to people and stuff like that, most people who do things for the money, you're going to see them change a lot, because they don't have that passion there. So you get the money, you chase the money, now you're tired, and then you're chasing the money for something else. So you're constantly chasing the money. You know, you don't want to live life, in my opinion, chasing money. You want to do what you like doing in life, and the money will come. You know what I'm saying? Like, but do what makes you happy. You know, so that would be my advice to 18-year-old me and to 18-year-olds now.
That's real. That's real, man. Well, I guess we can end it on that note, man. Like I said, I appreciate you, bro, you know, for spending this time with me, man, and come on. And, you know, like I always tell everybody that come on here, man, you know, I like to bring y'all on here. This is for me, bro, you know, like I can learn, you know, because I don't want to put this picture out there, you know, people see me with the dad, can we talk? And I'm like, bro, I ain't no perfect daddy. You know, I don't know it all. I am not an expert. I ain't none of that, you know. And I'm still learning myself, you know, and when I can bring on dads, you know, that have been dads longer than me or might know some things that I might not know, I'm always trying to soak it in, bro. So I definitely learned some stuff today, you know. You said some things that I'm gonna definitely, you know, take for myself, you know, and I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate you coming on and spending this time.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me, man. So, I truly appreciate it, and man, definitely keep this up. Like I said, if I can think of any ways, reaching out to schools, and I think like high school males, like this, to my opinion, can be something like a great program, a mentoring type program that high school males can, view, because you're bringing variety, and it's needed. Besides, if they don't know nobody person, how many people are gonna talk to them about these things? You got
Yeah.
kids who out there, want to be dads at a young age and do things. Maybe hearing all these different people speak on different things, like you said, we all can learn. I can learn from you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no perfect father, no perfect person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's real.
and so us knowing that we're not perfect and we can learn, like, that's the first step. So I definitely think, with kids, besides men, like even kids who don't have kids yet, like just
Yeah,
hearing these type conversations can be very beneficial.
that's real. That's real, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you get on back to that family, man. You know, tell your wife I said hello. And yeah, I appreciate you, big dog.
All right, cuz. Well,
All
you
right,
tell
my
the
man.
family I said hello too as
Yeah.
well. So you have a great night, man.
Yes, sir. It's Dad. Can we talk? We out.
All right.